Welcome back, players and collectors, to my channel, Ren's Collectibles. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about something that's really just reignited my passion for trading cards. And I'm going to just come out and say it up front. I'm not going to drag this on. It's Lorcana trading cards. I didn't really realize a lot of what this brought to the table, but it started to fill some voids and kind of made me realize where I was with other trading card games. And, you know, it might seem kind of weird to say, but I think some of you are going to understand where I'm coming from. So let me just explain a little bit and dive right into what I'm talking about. So for anybody who's been following my channel for a while, you guys know I am largely into Pokemon, namely the Pokemon trading card game. I started my channel off as a Pokemon Go channel. It didn't really do anything, so I found Pokemon cards and got like my passion reignited for trading cards back in 2019, and that's what started really all of this kind of where I am up to where I am now. I've been Pokemon trading cards for a long time. In the last year and a half or so, I've really gotten into some indie trading card games. And, you know, together they've all kind of like completed the trifecta of my passion for trading cards. You know, Pokemon, for a long time, I love to collect, and I've always enjoyed playing. And it's just kind of been like the big wholesome game for me to collect. And it still largely is. You know, I'm not getting away from Pokemon or anything like that. I love Pokemon. I love the trading card game. In fact, I still play the trading card game almost daily on PTCG Live, that is. But I started to realize that I really was, my passion for collecting Pokemon cards was kind of dying out a little bit. And I'm not going to say that like I don't collect or anything anymore, you know, that whole side of me died off, because it didn't. But I only buy, you know, certain cards I really like every now and then. I don't really buy sealed product to open anymore. And you guys watching my channel kind of know that at this point, that I don't really open up a lot of product here anymore. And a lot of that's due to just the amount of different product being released every single month. New releases kind of coming out pretty quickly, in my opinion, still. And then just all the promos and all the different things that Pokemon does and third-party people do, like the mystery boxes. There's just so much. I kind of got burnt out on buying a lot of it. And obviously the you know, economy and the price of things, how it's all increased, that has stuff to do with it too. But overall, it was like mostly my passion, kind of my flame of my collecting passion is just getting smaller and smaller for the Pokemon side. And a lot of that is where the indie trading card games come in. With like Mythic and Nostalgics, I've just genuinely enjoyed collecting and really participating in those small communities and, you know, helping support them and push content out for them. And I still do. That stuff is awesome. Those are both great games. I highly recommend you check out, by the way. But, you know, one of the big issues with smaller games like that is their games are super fun to play, and I love playing their games, but the communities and the games are so small that there's just not really anyone readily and widely available to play. So you have to schedule times and days to get on to play. And on top of that, there's no real platform to do it. So you're either playing on Tabletop Simulator or webcam, and those just don't quite hit the itch. You know, they don't scratch the itch of what a game player for trading cards wants. And, you know, largely due to the whole lack of a mobile client or an online client for that matter, because Pokemon trading cards, you have the PTCG Live where you can play, you know, on computer or mobile, which is why it's been my main game to play for such a long time. It's just easy access, it's clean, you can play, you don't even have to buy cards, you can literally unlock them or, you know, get them through rewards in the game. And it's just been great. So Pokemon has really been my gameplay side of it, and then the indie card games have really been the collect side for a long time. But then in comes Lorcana, and it kind of just showed me that I was really grabbing a bunch of different things to put together to make whole when Lorcana's kind of that whole package. And I just recently started to realize that because I just started to recently really get into Lorcana gameplay. But I've really genuinely enjoyed just about every aspect of Lorcana. There's not really a negative side of it that I have to say, other than, Disney owns it. And even at that point, Disney really, as far as I know, Disney really hasn't touched much to ruin it. So, and hopefully that stays that way, but Lorcana's been great. It is now widely available. I can go into any given Walmart, Meijer, Target, game stores even, LGSs, just about every single one of them have and carry Lorcana, and it's not being scalped to the high heavens, so you can actually find product now at MSRP, sometimes lower, and it's great. It's fantastic. I will say the $7 MSRP price for a single pack of cards is kind of ridiculous, but I mean, it is what it is. And then, like my local game store, Our House Games, they sell some packs occasionally for cheaper. Or, I guess like the first chapters, they sell at MSRP or a little bit above. But I think it's like $7.50 or $8 when, they should go for $7. But if you look online, they're all, $10, $11, $15 a pack, But it's like I can go to any game store and they have stuff available. I literally just went to my game store to play in a competitive tournament for Lorcana. It's the first one I ever participated in. I've even been to. I usually work most Saturdays, so I don't get to go. But I wasn't working this Saturday, and I finally got to go to one. And it was unbelievable. The experience was just unrivaled, honestly. And I say that because the community is awesome. But not only that, it's the most welcoming TCG I think I've ever kind of touched, if that makes sense. So basically I walked into my game shop and they were doing a competitive tournament. The sad part and the problem I came across was that this is all happening during the Chicago DLC. So a lot of the players that usually would show up were actually in Chicago during this whole event. So there wasn't very many people that showed up, which is okay. The community, though, is actually the second largest at the game store outside of Magic, which is kind of unbelievable because I think they're even beating the Yu-Gi-Oh players at this point, which have a large presence at my my LGS. But I walk in and it's like from the moment I met a couple of the people, they were just friendly. They were inviting. I told them, hey, this is my first time ever playing really in person, but also competitively. I built a deck from scratch, not even a meta deck, just a deck that I wanted to build for my favorite character and just kind of build around it, which is what I did. And, every single one of them, and even the game shop said, don't sweat it. You came to a competitive tournament, so people want to win, but this is easily one of the greatest communities out there. And I experienced that because when I walked in, they were just fantastic, just easygoing, really welcoming. And when I told them I was new, they were, hey, don't worry about it. We'll help you out. If you have questions, let us know. We'll answer them for you. We'll try to walk you through whatever, you're having issues with. And if you make mistakes, we'll point it out so that way you can kind of learn from them, type of thing, redo them, which was awesome. There's not a community out there that does that I've seen. I went to my card shop for Magic before, a fairly large pre-release a couple of years ago. And the first guy I went up against, I told him I was new. So I said, hey, sorry, I'm going to be a little bit slower. I'm probably going to have to read a lot of the cards you play. I do understand the general and basic game plan for, playing the game, but I don't know all the cards and I'm probably going to have some questions. And he literally rolled his eyes, scoffed, and said, I can't believe I have to play another newbie. And this was at a pre-release event too. So it's one of those things where you're supposed to go when you're new to learn to play. So that was very off-putting. And then even for like Yu-Gi-Oh, I met some of those guys and they're just like, yeah, if you're not into, you don't watch the game or you don't watch the anime, you've never played before, don't even bother, don't show up, that kind of stuff. So having that kind of mentality and knowing that there's groups out there and games out there that support that kind of mentality is really mind-blowing. But then to see the complete opposite on the Lorcana side was really and truly refreshing to see. I felt welcomed. I felt kind of like the moment I walked in there and I sat down with them, they just took me into their little family and they said I was one of them, you know, and it was just that wholesome moment that you really wish for. I do get that with the Pokemon community too. They were always welcoming and eager to take me in, you know, and play and teach and all that. So I have no complaints there, but it just felt, I don't want to say better, but it felt so much better. Like I felt so much more welcomed going in to play Lorcana than anything else I've ever played. So that was awesome. The community has just been phenomenal. But then having, you know, an online presence through my social medias and through this channel and stuff, I have not had one complaint about anybody in the Lorcana community at all, which you can't say the same for the Pokemon community or any of these other communities. Granted, they're all bigger than the Lorcana community, but every interaction I've had with somebody in the Lorcana community has been fantastic, or at least very positive. So that's been awesome to see, and I've genuinely enjoyed that. But then the other aspect is the gameplay, which was awesome. I mean, in the indie TCGs that I play are the only games where I've actually been able to build a deck around some of my favorite characters or favorite mechanics and build a deck that is competitive, let's say. You know, might not win all of the tournaments and it might not win all the matches, but it's fun and they win occasionally. With Lorcana, it's that. It is exactly that, but better. I had so much fun playing. I built a deck around Robin Hood, and I know before anybody says it, I realize now that's part of some of the meta Emerald Steel decks, but I did not know this at the time, and honestly, my deck is not, it doesn't compare to any of these meta decks anyway. I just threw pretty much every Robin Hood I had into the deck and said, I'm going to build around this because I like Robin Hood. So that's always, you know, fun to see that I could literally take cards. And by the way, I have not paid for a single card off TCG Player or, you know, outside of just buying packs and boxes and stuff. Everything I put in my deck was something I pulled myself. You can't do that very often with Pokemon or Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Like all those games, you can't really do that. So that was another huge thing for me. But the gameplay aspect was just fun. It was some of the most fun I've had in a long time playing trading cards. And again, I truly, truly enjoy playing Pokemon TCG. I do play it almost every single day, and it's great. But it's one of those things like if you're not playing the meta and you're playing ranked, you're gonna lose, and you're probably not gonna have that much fun in the process. And then even on the standard side of things, if you build a fun deck, people get sweaty and throw in these ultra mega competitive decks even into the standard to just wipe the floor with people, and you still don't get to have that much fun. In person is much different. I truly enjoy the experience that the Pokemon community here has given me in person. Fantastic. In the Lorcana community and the gameplay aspect of it was right there, top tier, S tier quality right there. And it's awesome. The one thing it makes me kind of nervous about Lorcana though, the lack of digital clients and the lack of online play. So Pixelborn has been a blessing to have as a game player for the last couple months, and I have been playing a little bit on Pixelborn. Again, not competitively or anything like that, and most of the time I was taking the starter decks that people just threw into them and trying them out to see how they play before I go buy any. But now that that's gone, or going to be gone in the next couple days, there's nothing really to replace it. So I'm kind of nervous about what their plan is and what's going to happen with that. I think that's going to hurt the community quite a bit. It's not going to kill the community or anything like that. I know some people are out there saying, you know, Pixelborn dying is going to kill off the entire Lorcana community, and that's asinine, right? It's not real. But it is going to hurt the community because there's people that love to get on there and play, and especially because you could do it from your phone. You could be on the go and play a game, and it was great, and now you can't do that, which is the big hindrance in my opinion. But outside of that, that's like my only complaint so far, and that's not even really much of a complaint because, you know, Disney and Ravensburger have the means to put together a client, a program to do that. And the fact that they are going after Pixelborn to get them to shut down tells me that maybe they have something in the pipes, and maybe it's coming soon. I don't know. There's been no official announcement yet, but I'm hoping that comes soon. So even my complaint for now is just, it's hopeful. So we'll see. But the final aspect of Lorcana that I've just enjoyed over everything that, you know, the Pokemon and all that hasn't given me is the love of collecting. Like, I just have truly enjoyed opening packs and products, you know, troves and booster boxes and stuff, to get packs and open stuff up. And, you know, I pulled my first Enchanted. I don't even know if you guys can see it. It's my first ever Enchanted right there, the Jasmine. You know, the moment I pulled this was one of the best feelings of pulling a card I've had in a very, very long time. So, I mean, even that just lifts you up so much, and it made me feel so much better, you know, about like the chase, where Pokemon just doesn't feel that rewarding anymore. Lorcana has been. But the other thing is they got promos that literally just for showing up and playing a game, they're going to pass out. And one of my favorite characters, Robin Hood, I can just grab and collect, is awesome. And that's just the thing. Like, there's not a ton of product out there for Lorcana, which I am kind of happy about, to be honest. I didn't think I would be that. I kind of wanted more, you know, to have more availability and to collect. But at the same time, it's like, you've got booster boxes, you've got decks, you've got packs, and you've got the Trove. That's it. There's no chasing all these extra things. You literally get those, and that's it. Or now, you know, you get the Illuminator's Quest, which is a new product, but it's like a one-off thing. They might do it for other sets, but, you know, it's not like it's something you have to chase and go after. It's something that you can buy one of and be done. You don't really have to collect it. So it's nice to have that. But overall, Lorcana has just been an amazing community and game to get into, and I'm very happy that I finally dove all in on it. And I'm gonna be honest, I enjoy it more than anything else right now. TCG related, I should say. It's kind of like overtaken all the other games in every aspect. It doesn't mean I like those other games any less. It's just Lorcana's kind of become like my main thing now. And I think the channel is going to reflect that quite a bit in the future going forward, you know, that I'm going to have a lot more Lorcana stuff on here mixed in with the Pokemon and all the other stuff. But thanks for hearing me rant, guys, and just talking about my experience. But if you're, you know, part of the Lorcana community and you took the time to watch all this, thank you guys for being so awesome. And thanks for just being so accepting and welcoming to new players and, you know, people that just wanted to have some fun, and you sucked us all in, and now we're here having fun together. So I appreciate that, and I look forward to meeting more of you guys in the future. I am really hoping I can go to one of these DLCs in this season. And if I can't, then maybe next year we'll get to go to one or two. But I want to go to some Lorcana events now as well, and hopefully meet more of you guys and kind of just push out some more Lorcana content. So I hope you guys stick around for all that. Make sure you subscribe if that is something you're interested in, of course. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the future together with you guys and with Lorcana. And I just really wanted to put my experience out there with the Lorcana community for anybody who's maybe kind of questioning if they should join in the community or not. Dive on in. The water's great, the community's great, and the game's great. So there's no reason you shouldn't. But that's what we have time for today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. We'll see you in the next video.